నిరుద్యోగులకు అంట మన లెజెండ్ అతి తక్కువ ప్రైస్ లో స్టేట్ బెస్ట్ ఫ్యాకల్టీతో చెప్పించిన క్లాసులను అందిస్తుంది లెజెండ్. ఎస్ఐపిసి మెయిన్స్, గ్రూప్ 4 2 పేపర్స్, డిఏఓ పేపర్ 1 2, గ్రూప్ 2 3 4 పేపర్స్. ఏ కోర్స్ అయినా తక్కువ ప్రైస్ లో మీకోసం ఎప్పుడైనా ఎన్నిసార్లైనా వినొచ్చు. డౌన్లోడ్ ఆప్షన్ కలదు. జస్ట్ మీ మొబైల్లో ప్లే స్టోర్ నుండి లెజెండ్ క్లాసెస్ యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోగలరు. 2 తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో అత్యధిక మంది అభ్యర్థుల ఎంపిక మన లెజెండ్. మీరు లెజెండ్ తీసుకోండి, జాబ్ సాధించండి.
Once again, welcome back to LEZEND classes. Let's get into physiological changes during pregnancy for this class. So let's see. Physiological changes during pregnancy. So before telling you the in-depth system-wise changes, what happens during the physiological changes during the pregnancy, before that I'll just explain you what are all the hormones which trigger these changes and what are their functions. I'll just tell you. So now make sure you understand what I'm telling. Women with pregnancy, right? So now yes, this is one side of uterus, and then next connected with ovary, right? See now, I'll just explain you. So from where the ovaries secrete hormones, and from where these hormones, how the hormones trigger these changes during pregnancy. Yes. So now yes, this is one side, and here I'll just show you the graphical representation. Yes, months pregnant, 0 yes, hormones. And now see the 3 major hormones, for the entire pregnancy period. 3 are the major hormones regulates. Those are number 1 with estrogen, and number 2 progesterone, and number 3 is beta HCG. Right, so these are the 3 major hormones that regulate entire changes during pregnancy. I'll just discuss how these hormones will they rise up and fall up when they are. I'll tell you. So during the initial stages, this beta HCG is secreted from the placenta. This beta HCG initially during the first 3 months it increases, then gradually it decreases. Clear? This is a graphical representation where beta HCG will increase, then decrease. So then next, from the ovary, progesterone and estrogen is secreted. I'll just discuss first one. Estrogen is initial stages, it rises, and completely it rises up for the entire 9 months period. Estrogen and progesterone looks raised up. So I'll just draw both of them. Yes, so initial stages, both estrogen and progesterone, both the hormones rise up, and after the birth of fetus, then after the delivery, after the NVD or LSES, both the hormones drop down. Yes, After the 9 months gestation completed, after the completion of entire gestation week and after the delivery, both hormones drop down, and as well as these physiological changes, what the reason why they are secreting is to insert some changes within our body, right, to regulate some changes within our body. So after the delivery, those changes are not necessary, so those hormones drop down. Then next, this is what some calculation and graphical representation of 3 hormones. Clear? Yes, now I'll tell you system wise what are the physiological changes happening. Now right now, starting with the respiratory system, I'll discuss. Respiratory system, in this generally during the pregnancy, the size of the abdomen, that means the size of the abdomen with the presence of fetus, it increases, right? So that the diaphragm, you know, the diaphragm intercostal muscle, that the diaphragm muscle, it changes its structure. How you write? This is the diaphragm muscle, right? So there will be increased pressure upon this diaphragm. So generally when we inspire or expire, that means respiration process, this diaphragm muscle, it changes its movements upward and downward as well. Both movements are at a time. So once this abdominal pressure has increased, that means increased abdominal pressure, this diaphragm muscle, you know, with this diaphragm movement only we can take the respiration. That means the pregnant woman with this diaphragmatic ventilation only, she can take the respirations. Clear? So here, increased abdominal pressure. Then next one, hyperventilation. Yes, hyperventilation is nothing but increased demand for respirations. That means there is a pressure upon the diaphragm muscle, and the mother, that means a pregnant woman, she is not able to take respirations correctly. So there will be a hyperventilations, that means increased demand for respirations. Like, you know, respirations will be like peaks, that means 20, 22, in that peaks there will be. So that next one, yes, increase tidal volume. Yes, this is the one thing, increase the tidal volume. Yes, increase the tidal volume. And now this is what some changes that happens during the respiratory system. Then next one, we'll go to cardiovascular. In cardiovascular system, first change is increased cardiac output. Cardiac output is nothing but stroke volume and as well as what heart rate. A stroke volume, if it is increases, as same time what you know, cardiac output increases, right? Here what happens is increased stroke volume into increased heart rate. Yes, this is the change mainly which happens in the cardiovascular system. Then next, decreased systemic vascular resistance. That means there is an increased stroke volume. If there is a stroke volume, see for example in the heart there are many chambers, arteries, veins, pulmonary arteries, systemic veins, many other. So if at all you know stroke volume increases, the systemic vascularity within the like arteries, veins, you know, that decreases. Yes, increased stroke volume, simultaneously there will be decreased vascularity. Clear? Then next, Decreased blood pressure. See, decreased blood pressure is the normal thing. If at all normal blood pressure rises above, the patient, I mean the pregnant woman, may land up in the hypertension. That means hypertension alone, it can lead to preeclampsia. Yes, hypertension alone, it can lead to preeclampsia. Yes, and if at all blood pressure normally decreases, it's okay. That is a normal physiological change we can consider. That otherwise, if at all the blood pressure increases, that leads to hypertension, then it leads to preeclampsia and followed by eclampsia. Preeclampsia is nothing but seizures. That means gestational mother, that means pregnant mother, may land up in a seizures. Eclampsia is nothing but seizures along with hypertension. Yes. Then next one, this is what something cardiac systemic changes what happens. Then next one, hematological. Yes, in this hematological, what happens is there will be increased plasma volume. Up to how much extent? 40%. Increased plasma volume up to 40%. Clear? So this, what happens is there will be increased RBC, that means red blood cell count also. Yes, as a equality, what happens is, for example, if you see increased plasma volume and increased RBC, it leads to what? Anemia. Clear? So increased plasma volume and as well as increased simultaneously, both gets increased and increased RBC. So if this is the situation, it leads to anemia. Clear? And next, physiological changes in this hematology, increased clotting factors. Increased clotting factors. See, in our body, if we get any injury, there will be a sudden blood flow. Yes, so to cess that, and that means to stop that, so blood clotting factors will be there. So many clotting factors are there. Among them, within this hematology, there will be sudden rise in the clotting factors. That means increased hypercoagulability. Yes, this is what some changes which happens during the pregnancy within the hematological system. That means blood, something related to blood. So clear? Then next we can consider musculoskeletal system. Yes, musculoskeletal system. In this musculoskeletal system, what happens is, so if we consider